welcome back. Thanks for working through all of that craziness, Karen. I appreciate it. Without further ado, let's do the intro. Welcome to NW2. Some of you are new. You've never been here before. Some of you have been here just a couple of times.
Say that one more time. Was that the case ID number?
Was that the what?
I think it's background conversation.
Or are you getting background from my other one? No.
I think it's background conversation. Maybe somebody's not muted.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, welcome. Please, in the chat box, put your name and phone number in there so that people can connect with you. There's a lot going on. We've got some new faces, so we want to hear what you're doing, know how we can help you. NW2 is named by you. You are, network equals net worth. It's who you know and how you know them that will often decide how much wealth you have. So our standard procedure for those of you who are new is we kind of go around for one quick minute and tell everybody our updates, and the claps and the woos and the, if there's questions, we'll kind of let everyone know what they are. We'll try to answer them. But then we have class, and class today has a lot of notes. So make sure you have a pen and paper, because there's a lot of good stuff in today's item. So I'm going to start out with the person who has the most news that I am aware of. And by the way, I am Mickey Mikeworth. I am your hostess today. Thank you for coming. Most everyone in here I've met before, and we're hoping for you to have a great time. But the person who I know has the mostest news is Fatun Ali. So do you want to lead us in give us your update? Everybody's waiting to hear your good news.
Why do you have to pick me up first? Pick me first. Where do I start? Vicky, you're doing this to me. I don't know. Okay. The good news is some families got a grant with the mentorship program I have been doing with Dr. Farna Price. So we applied a few grants. Some of them will be coming the middle of November. Some of them will be coming in December, and some of them will be coming in January. So we applied 3 different grants. And also Dr. Farna did give us some grants to work with the girls taking action. So that's one good thing about some PAM. We are updating the website next couple of months. We're working on it. I bought my home, so I'm enjoying my beautiful home. I love it. This is my office home. Real estate is doing really well. Hannah is doing a great job. He's showing 5 homes today.
Wow.
5 showings his first client. So I hope he does well. Very excited. I've been working on my book. So it's a work in progress. I'm hoping I will be done within a year. So that's my excitement. And also I've been working with African Economic Development Solutions to help me start my restaurant. So I've been putting it on hold for a while. So now we're working on that. We changed the name of the restaurant, the catering business. We turned it into a restaurant and we changed the name. We're doing very well. And everything in my life is, coming really together. So I'm very excited about that.
Yay!
Yeah.
I think we can do a group clap on that. So yeah, 3 grants, 5 houses being shown today. That's pretty sweet news. That's pretty sweet news. Okay. I I'm going to go to Janet Mills because she's next on my whoo-hoo list. And then Christina, I'm coming to you so you can kind of get your ideas back.
All right. Good morning, everyone. It's great to see you. I have one big project that I do, and it's just uploading right now to the printer. So I get to fresh start to get going on things that I'm behind on and reevaluate. And I'm the project that I'm a graphic designer. And so the project I do is a magazine, and I have all kinds of other projects that I love more than anything in the world and want to get to. And then I've also been I made a pledge in this group one day aloud that I would do some learning. And so I expand my universe with that, but I also want to start learning.
I had it on
more
this
software
list, by the way.
stuff.
I write things down.
Oh, and the pandemic was great because internationally, the design world went free on Zoom. So you get to hear people all over giving webinars instead of, if you're a solopreneur, instead of being alone in your office. I think I like to hear everyone else. That's what I have to say.
I think that's great. I think that's great. So you did do your learning, so I can check that off of my list.
No, I've done it ever since I said it aloud.
See how
But
it helps? See how it helps?
But I have
so good.
It's a commitment, but I did sort of some learning, but now I need to do more software learning. Adobe went insane with the stuff that you can do. Insane.
Yeah. Wow. Wow.
So they had a conference last week. All right, thank you.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Christina, I'm coming to you. Then Shakina, I'm coming up to you. And then Sandy, you're right after that. Okay, Christina, hi.
Hi.
You're blowing up.
I know.
You
It's
are
been a
blowing up.
I know it's been super busy. I don't even remember the last time I hopped on one of these, which is terrible. I know. But yeah, I am Christina Peck. I own KP Marketing. I am a digital marketing and branding guru. Since I've last been on, goodness, I don't even know. It's probably been almost a year. I have started a real estate investment group in Charlotte, North Carolina. I just hired my 11th employee for the real estate investment group. So I'm super excited about that. Can
we just clap on that right there?
Thank you. I have 4 employees for my marketing company now. We bought a new home. I'm 27 weeks pregnant now with our little girl. I started a nonprofit. I'm just doing everything, and I don't even know how to put it all into words. I'm just, in my own little world, just working away, raising babies, taking care of my husband who's like another child. But I'm super excited that I got to make it to this meeting. I cleared my schedule. It's like I have to be here. So super excited to hear more about everybody and what everybody else is doing, and excited to hear what you have in store for us today.
Oh yeah. Well, I do want to just give everybody a chance to kind of congratulate you. I mean, this has been a heck of a year for you.
Thank you. Yes.
I mean, everything that you thought could happen, like you just dreamed up and went, hey, this can go. It did, because you weren't afraid.
Yeah, well, I just didn't let fear get in the way.
There you go. So anyway, I'm going to just give some group claps, and Christina's a great example of, I'll hunt you down. I will find you.
Thank you.
So we're glad to have you here. Shakina, give us your update. You have a lot of them. Life change. Here it is.
Okay. Good morning. My name is Shakina Washington. And hey, Miss Fortune, I didn't know you were going to be here.
I'm here. How are you?
I am ultimately right now, I'm a notary. And so my goal is to be a mobile notary, which I do a little bit unofficially, but I just got accepted into the deed program, their business program.
Oh, good.
And yes, so I'm getting that process, going. And so I'm giving myself 90 days because I can have a lot going on and let other things get in the way. But I'm really working on getting myself together so that I don't let all these distractions be in my way. And then I also double or moonlight as a closing agent for a small closing company. Get your coat. In Brooklyn Center by the name of Prominent Closing Services, which I have been trying to leave, but destiny or something, I don't know what it is. I'm still kind of tied to this company. So right now I'm back there pretty much kind of full time, just because I had a minor setback with a vehicle, but just keeping my hopes and dreams. Excuse me, because I'm doubling mommy duty and I gotta walk my daughter to school this morning because my husband had an appointment. But not letting go of my dreams and my aspirations. So just pursuing a few things all at one time. And I'm very grateful to be here and very grateful for Mickey all the time.
Oh, I'll take that love. Wow. I'll take that love. Okay, well, we'll see you at the bus stop. Have fun. Okay. After Shakina, it's Sandy, right? Or is it Mary? Who did I say after her? Okay, well, let's go to Sandy and then Mary Kay.
Morning. Hi, everybody.
You've had a big month. You've had a big, wow.
I don't know, everybody's doing so great. I'm just amazed.
I know.
But I'm a residential real estate agent working in the Twin Cities, and I did have a very, very busy year through the summer. Now it's slowed down, but that's okay because there's lots of projects to do to improve and get ready for the next year. This year I was very excited to, it was so difficult to find houses for people. So I found houses for 2 different clients by sending I have a buyer letters. And that doesn't usually work, but I found houses for 2 buyers, and one was on a lake, which they never would have gotten that house otherwise because it would have never come on the market. And then the other one's right in my neighborhood in Southwest Minneapolis. And who knows, maybe a letter even went to Mickey's house. I don't know. You were in that area.
Right.
So, and then a project that I'm working on right now is I started last year doing a pre-Thanksgiving pie giveaway. So I picked out a local baker in Minneapolis who does really great pies, and people, I sent out the announcement, and then people are reserving their pie and coming to pick them up just before Thanksgiving. So that's really fun. And I visited my dad in Texas in October for a week. I hadn't seen him since, pre-COVID. So that was a good thing to do. Make sure he's eating and everything.
Right. And he's so cute. He's so cute.
So anyway, that's all I have, but congratulations to everybody. Everybody's so impressive. I'm amazed.
Isn't it great?
Yeah.
I'm so excited for everybody because
Yes.
everyone has great news. Okay, Mary Kay, welcome to class. It's your first day. So
my first day.
Don't worry, it's Jenny's first day too. So
Okay, I'm not alone. That's
and
good.
Andromeda, I think. Yeah.
This is actually, I think, my first Zoom call. So I'm not a techie person. The phone is as much as I get with technology, I think. So yeah, I've just been, my background is in healthcare. I body work, like massage, nutrition, but things have kind of been on the back burner for a while. I've been raising 2 boys, been trying to move forward with different avenues, trying to increase my income. So I built a studio apartment in my house so I could rent it to somebody. I do have someone coming in, working out the bugs with that, but
That's a big win. Wow.
Yeah. So, and so in the meantime that I'm shuffling with, launching my kids, I have a 16 and a 19-year-old. My 19-year-old is currently on a mission trip to Ukraine he's in Ukraine right now. And then my 16-year-old is, right now we're working on driving.
Wow.
So I go see if he can pass his driver's test today. So I got this invitation and I thought, well, this is an opportunity. I'm going to walk through this door. I'm going to glean as much information as I can. I'm excited to hear everybody else who's spoken before, you know, their wonderful news. It's very, very encouraging. I love the energy. And I just feel there's lots of, well, I'm moving forward, and that's the biggest thing for me. So
That's great. That's great. Well, welcome, 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 welcome. Hey,
Thank you.
Andromeda, are you parenting or are you able to check in?
Hi.
Hi.
Started school.
Okay, give us your update. Any chance you have lashes with you?
No, Miss Mickey, they at home.
Okay. Okay. Well, give us your intro for everybody.
sorry.
This is Andromeda.
Hi. I have a company. Well, I just started a business doing eyelash extensions, and then I just started making handmade lashes, like from scratch, decorating them and, you know, custom making them. I can say that. I've been doing eyelashes for how long, Miss Mickey? It's been like 6-7 years. Six,
Right.
7 years.
A while.
Yeah, it's just something I enjoy doing.
Well, good. Any you want to give everybody your great news? I mean, you've got a whole list here.
Great news. Oh, I just moved, got a bigger place for me and the kids. I have 4 kids, 3 girls, 1 boy. I have a 1-year-old, 13-year-old, 7-year-old, and a 3-year-old.
And
I
and
just-
a baby. Yeah.
Yeah,
Did you
Ramir,
say the
one.
baby? Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And yeah, so I'm just hoping. I just got my eyelash certificate. When was that? Like 2 months ago. So I'm excited about that. I'm thinking maybe in the next month or so, I want to get a suite to start doing them in. Right now, I just been, you know, just because I got the certificate, I want to be more perfect at it before I get to actually starting the business part. But that's about it.
Okay. Well, good. Well, welcome to class. Welcome to class. For those of you who may feel like you know Andromeda's name, Andromeda is one of our Project Elf families.
Yep.
If you remember, we moved her into this tiny little apartment right off of Lake
Lake.
Street.
Yeah.
And now, right, we've launched her into a business owner, that she's got a new apartment, she's got a certificate to do her work, and she's done her business plan. She's gotten some coaching. So lots and lots and lots of positive changes for you. So I just want, you know, to let everybody give you a group clap, because they've been rooting for you for a long time. So getting to see you is a big deal.
Thank y'all.
Is a big deal. So welcome to class. Welcome to class. Janine, you have another pile of good news. And then Mary Sage, I'm coming to you after.
I'm so sorry that I missed so many others good news. I got a phone call at the same time here.
Oh, do you want to skip and come back, or?
Oh, no, it's okay. I missed everybody else who talked already. That's all.
Oh, okay.
For that.
It's rocking.
The studio next to me in my building here is a lash studio, and I'm curious if she'd be interested in renting a chair or some sort of thing like that with you, Andrea.
Oh, okay.
Yes. I'm right.
Yeah.
Yes,
So send her the link
Okay, I
or
will.
connect. Andromeda put her phone number up here.
Yeah,
Okay.
just send me the link.
Okay. All right. So it's been crazy around here. I'm a wedding photographer for the last 16 years. And then over the last couple of years, I've been working on my portrait business in my studio. And I had some big changes. My assistant, who's been with me for 7 years, her last day was last Sunday. I hired 2 new people, one of which didn't work out, which is kind of a bummer always. So now coming into the slower season here, I am excited as I have time to like nurture my business workflow and stuff instead of just react to the work coming in.
And you had a really big year. I mean,
It was big. Yeah.
you had a really big year. So, I mean, you're allowed to take a breath. You're allowed to take a breath. Well, welcome back to class. We missed you.
It's been a while. Thank you.
Yeah, it has been a while. And you also were in the summer cohort.
Yeah.
So you had extra double work. So congratulations on that as well. Okay, Mary Sage, let's go into you. Hi.
Hi. It's nice to be here. Thanks for the last minute shout out invite. It just happened to align perfectly.
Good. Well, we're glad you're here. We're glad you're here.
Yeah. So I have a business called Sage Wellbeing. I am a wellness person. I teach yoga and do body work and life coaching. And mainly right now I'm working through teaching series classes and offering experiences for small groups online. And so I'm in just like heavy planning mode for 2022, which feels just shocking that that year is even like upon us. So
can you believe it? Can you believe it? Like,
I know it's all just a whirlwind. So really just trying to anchor in all the adjustments and things that have shifted in the last year and just kind of forecast forward into the next year and seed in all the intentions that I want to plant for things that are important. And then also just kind of straddling single parenting and in the process of uncoupling and divorcing. So I'm just kind of like walking
so much
like
work.
the full wheel and just like trying not to be in total spins, just like one thing at a time. So
one thing at a time, right?
Yes.
Right. Well, welcome back. We're glad to see you. We're glad to see you.
Yeah, nice
Jenny.
to be here.
Jenny doesn't have a speaker on her computer.
Oh, she doesn't. Okay. Well, Jenny, you can go ahead and put your information in the side. So we'll get to see you perhaps next time too. You can put in a description of you and what you got going on and so forth. So anyway, welcome to class. Danny Dixon, A Little Dirt Don't Hurt.
Yes.
And then Nefertiti will be on to you. Oh, right? Are you on too, or is that your sister? Nefertiti, you're on, right? Okay, you're next after Danny.
Hi, I'm Danny. I own A Little Dirt Don't Hurt, which launched on Facebook about 2 months ago, and Instagram. And I am taking more orders for the cupcake soaps I made for my daughter to take to school because you can't take food, so you can't bring cupcakes to your friends. So I made them out of soap so she could still take cupcakes, which I got more than one complaint from parents saying their child ate the soap. It said soap right on it. I'm like, they're in 4th grade. They're going to eat it anyway.
They're going to eat it anyway.
It looks like a cupcake. They're going to try. But I have about 4 orders for other classmates of hers for this coming spring to do the same. I'm working on a certificate in herbalism. I am practicing witchcraft now. I'm revising my business plan to kind of work better with the Facebook and Instagram platforms. It doesn't really work that way, the way it is right now. And there is a building that is trying to help me get an art collective I want to start up and running inside of it, so then I can move in with my shop and have that in there at the same time. And that's that little red convenience store on Johnson Street.
Oh, I love that store. Yes.
And it's a little expensive for me, but the owner doesn't want anything that's going to ruin the neighborhood in there. And he's kind of excited about what I want to do. So
That's
he's
fantastic.
being very helpful. And I got the best news this morning. About a week ago, we heard that Pfizer was approved for pediatrics. Columbia Heights has a vaccine, and my daughter can get vaccinated, and I can finally meet my niece in England.
Yay!
The only thing that's stopping me is that they won't let my 9-year-old into the UK.
Oh, interesting. Because
she's not vaccinated.
She's not vaccinated, but now she will be.
She will be.
Wow. Well, that's a lot. Herbalism, new business, possibly getting your art collective. I mean, that's a lot of goals coming up and going. It sounds like you're starting to see it build momentum.
Yes.
Yeah.
One of the other things is I was commissioned to color, and I do a lot of coloring. It's a hobby. But I was commissioned to color tarot cards.
Oh, these are great.
So there's the back. I'm not going to show you that one. That one is not a friendly card.
Oh yeah, these are great. So you're using all of your talents, Danny.
So that's
a big deal.
I didn't think that those would sell because I was like, I don't know if I can sell these for what I want them to be worth, because they're just colored in. But my cousin's paying for them, and she's paying $200 for them. So I'm like, you bought a very expensive deck of tarot cards.
You know, Karen Carson can probably speak to that. I'm sure people play that all the time. So if she loves them, they're hand colored. Come on.
They're especially for one-of-a-kind ones. I used to work for a company that manufactures tarot decks, and they're all pretty pricey, even at the bottom end. So, you know.
And these are colored to the woman's favorite colors and her. So they're going to be kind of with her particular brand of magic in mind. Another really big thing I'm working on is my parents bought half a cow, and they said, yes, we want the bones for the dogs. Well, I stole them. The dogs don't get them. So I'm making Norse runes with the bones with an engraver.
Wow, that'll be interesting. Very good.
Yeah.
So creative. Okay, I'm gonna come. Jenny's got a note in the side. She is running her husband's business, working with the state unemployment, doing some education and QuickBooks. So there she goes. And now she's going to start taking that knowledge and pushing it into another area as well. So yeah, the business stuff, we're all excited for that. We are all excited to that. Nefertari, are you here?
I'm here.
Oh, good. Okay. Give us your check-in. You've got a lot going on. Welcome.
Thank you. Good morning. So my name is Terry. I'm fairly new. I'm actually sisters with Andromeda, who is starting to try to do a lash business. So for the last year or so, I've kind of been working on trying to actually start a women's ran car wash. I wanted to have a lot of womanly presence to it, a lot of feminine colors and things of that sort. Because of COVID and things like that, I've kind of just took a setback, but I'm just fairly new at trying to do this. I've taken some classes at Women Ventures and things of that sort to try to get started with everything. I also just recently purchased my first house, and so I've been here for about 2.5 months.
Yeah.
Here for 2.5 months, and it's been an exciting, stressful journey. I'm still getting used to the bills, so that's pretty new. I'm just now starting to get back with my head in the game and trying to focus on getting the business up and running and looking for a location to start my business for the car wash and looking for investors and things of that and everything like that to try to get things rolling. I'm excited to be here and just kind of get some more knowledge, and it's been great listening to all the successful stories that you ladies have already accomplished, and everything that you guys are doing now to go ahead and continue to grow in indoor going forward in the future as well. So it's good to be here.
Good. We're glad to have you. And so she is in Minneapolis currently. So if anyone has car wash ideas for locations, existing that's closed, she's got her whole business plan written, and like in a nice binder, and like you can page through it. It's quite good. So any things that you have for Terry, she would love. So we're going to put those, just pop them in. You can instant message to somebody privately as well. Karen Carson, give us your update.
Well, I've had my third booster, so I'm not feeling as good as I could, and had a flu shot last week. Those are not my big accomplishments, but I got them done. So
yes.
Right now I'm trying to figure out whether I can do the brain spa or not this year. Yeah. So I can use the same room we usually use, and I don't know how people feel about gathering now. So I'm working out a plan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. For those of you who haven't been to the brain spa, it's something that we offer every year. It's a goal planning session. Karen makes all sorts of stuff. Do you want to just kind of give the idea on what brain spa is?
The brain spa is a place to just kind of relax and think about the year ahead. And I have some tools for you to use. And we also have things that you can play with. Like a lot of people do a small vision board or other things. And I do mini tarot readings just to keep in practice. And we have a little food and people talk and, just try to, and they're all very smart, intelligent women that are fun that come. So some people have been coming for the whole time we've ever had it, which is years. I don't know how many years, 15?
Probably 15 or 20. Yeah.
So I'm thinking about having it in early December this time instead of so close to Christmas, and to have it during the day because some people were having a hard time working it into the evening. So it would be on a Sunday afternoon.
Oh, that sounds great. That sounds great. And my favorite part of that is where we write a letter to
let you write a letter to yourself, and
as if the whole year had already gone by, and then Karen holds them for the whole year and then mails them back to you
in November.
In November. So yeah, that's
and you get this letter that you think, what the hell is this?
Right, because it's your handwriting.
Your handwriting. But it's
you
people
totally forget. I totally forget every year.
And so that's a lot of fun. I really encourage people to do that. Some people don't do it just because, I don't know why, but anyway, it can be just a short note to yourself.
I think it was the year before I wrote Kathy Korgard's letter to herself to her and put it in. And so she got it. And it was a letter of me telling her everything I wanted her to get done in the year. Yeah, so fun. And what else is going on?
Well, I hadn't been doing much coaching because of COVID. So I do have one new client, and I try not to have more than 4, just because it's a lot of work, and I have a special needs husband.
Yes.
So that takes up a lot of time. He's having a lot of health problems right now. So we're driving to a lot of appointments with him.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yesterday he gets a lot of skin cancer, being Irish and very light skinned. So they did a 2nd degree face peel on his forehead. And it looks just awful.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah. So he's had a few of those and other things. But anyway, it's not a full-time job, but it's close.
It's close.
Yeah.
It's close. Well, I am going to start to share my screen. I am back. For those of you who have been following, I've been on a workaway month. it has been quite an experience as usual. I did the state of Washington this year, and you know, I have learned that there is not a single waterfall that my husband can walk past without doing a video on it. So randomly his iPhone made like a movie and sent it to him. And I posted it on Facebook today because it's just waterfall after waterfall after waterfall after waterfall.
But
You
now
should
he's
send that to
starting
my
to
mom,
enjoy
she'll love it.
vacation.
Right, right. Yes, now he's enjoying it. Danny, what did you say?
I said you should send that to my mom. She'll love it.
Oh yeah, your mom loves waterfalls too.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, she is the waterfall queen.
Yes. Also, I'm jealous you got to pet a reindeer. I need to make that happen in my life because I can't pet a polar bear.
Yeah, you know, the reindeer was a really interesting surprise. I didn't, the family that owns those reindeer, that farm, they do it all the time. They really have a lot of knowledge, and they have worked with these animals so that, you know, they're not twitchy. But learning all the facts about them, it was just astonishing. And for those of you who may have done hair in your past, I had a hairdresser past, but they grow like an enormous amount of hair per square inch. It's like 4,000 or 7,000 hairs per square inch. So they just have this softness to them that's like the best tuft anywhere, and their nose is all the way covered, and so are their hooves, so it looks like they're wearing boots. Yeah, very cute. So yes, reindeer, definitely. I'll give you the address. This is an attainable item. Leavenworth. It's in Leavenworth. So today's topic is going to have some notes. This is the truth edition. So this is where you get to tell yourself the truth. You can choose to share with us or not. But this is where you get to really look at what's not working. And then we can kind of start as a group to kind of put it in. For those of you who are new, that chat box is our lifeline. So you can ask me a question, you can send it to Karen, and then Karen will interrupt me. But basically what we're going to focus in here on is, right, how to make positive change functional, because that's really what has to happen. As you know, this is your art project. This is your life's art project. It's going to cause every emotion that you could possibly have. My invitation with you is, are you going to keep fighting with it, or are you going to play with it? And that's always my goal, is that you'll play with it. This is practical and tactical. We will have a recording for you on this, and Karen will put it up on YouTube, I don't know, in a few days, maybe a week. We are missing Jamie. She says hello. She's flying back in from St. Thomas. So she says hello to everyone. But she'll get this in the video format. So, you know, hello. So practical and tactical, we're going to really be working on constructing those business end goals and making it so it functions. Mary Kay, you'll see one of the methods that you and I talked about in today's class, the Stones method. But basically, when we look at practical, it's really looking at something that you're capable of being done, right? Not these big goals, but these really practical items that they can be done, that they have a reason, they have a benefit, they have an outcome. And there's also, for those of you who are selling services, there's also the illusion of benefit, or an invitation to participate. So an illusion of benefit would be in Danny's case, right, where she's making cupcakes. The benefit is that you can still give the way that you want to your friends and family, but you can now do it with soap, right? So she gave the illusion of benefit. Like, oh, who wants to give an 8-year-old some soap? Not many people, until it's a cupcake, right? So sometimes that practical service is to say, look, let's let's do this as an illusion of benefit, not just, hey, here's soap, right? So, or an invitation to participate. When you start to look at an invitation to participate, I look at Shakina's business model, right? Which is right now, right, being a notary, right? Inviting people to say, look, we've got a mobile notary. We just have them delivered. You don't have to go see if the bank is open. You don't have to make an appointment. You can just call a number and a notary will show up at your door within the metro area. That's crazy. So it's looking at, how do we give people these practical tools, and who would need a notary like that, right? So today in your notes, we're really looking at, right, this is where we're going to be building a task list today, and a task list of things that are these really small areas. But when I talk about that, it's the truth telling. And that's where I'm going to get a little bit of bitch slapping back from all of you, because nobody likes my favorite word, failure. So get used to it. I put a description in what failure is, so you cannot stab my eyes out with your looks. But new business, returning business, retention, profit margin, and magic. Those are the 5 topics we're going to talk about. So I would just give yourself a place on your paper to write notes on all of them. New business, returning business, retention, profit margin, and magic. And, when we look at failure and success, you look at all of these people that are in here today, right? And who all had a lot of good news. And Christina, I'm going to throw this at you right away, right? Because this slide is your life, right? This slide is your life. It is not built in a day. Mm-hmm. So these are thousands of little tiny things that happen. Can you give us any words on this?
So for me, I guess I can backtrack a little bit. So I am from the healthcare industry. I worked as a nurse for 5 years. So I felt like if I could handle working as a nurse, I could pretty much do just about anything. But when I made the switch from nursing to marketing, it was really scary. I was afraid. But I knew in order to be successful, I had to get over that fear somehow. All these people, all these millionaires you hear about, they were probably terrified too, investing in real estate, starting their own business, so on and so forth. So I had to kind of change my mindset. It's really a mindset thing, and stop saying, I can't do this, or I'm not meant to be successful. I'm not meant to own a business. I'm not meant to be wealthy. And start saying, I can be wealthy. I can be successful. I just really have to work on it. I really have to put my time, money, effort, everything into building this business, or now businesses. And I guess in that moment is when I realized that, what? I'm Christina. I'm pretty damn good at what I do. And everything just fell into place after that. And even, everybody sees the positive stuff on Facebook, but there's days where I have 3 or 4 proposals come back and they choose to go with somebody else, or, things just don't go my way. And I take those failures as a good thing, because what's for me will be for me. I won't have to stress about it. I won't have to overwork in a sense. Whatever's out there that's for you is going to come to you. So don't stress the small stuff. Take the failures with stride, because eventually they lead to some form of success.
Right. So it is again, right? These pieces are 1,000 of these little tiny steps, right? So all of us are really saying, look, success and failure are not built in a day, right? You can't raise a child in a weekend. You can't fix a relationship in a day, right? These are small choices that are made over and over and over again that lead towards a direction. So these are negotiated in lots and lots of either errors or successes, right? Or things that don't work right? We have to look at them as an overtime conversation. So the failure part that I know all of you want to go, oh, I don't want to talk about failure, but I want you to think about it is that the inability to make, to meet an expectation. Don't trip up on that word, because we've all been trained that failure is a no-no. And I like Christina's methodology, right? What's for you is for you, what's not is not, right? What's for you is for you, what's not is not. So sometimes a failure of having somebody not become your client, or that didn't work, or that proposal wasn't there, it wasn't for you. It wasn't for you. It wasn't for them. It wasn't the right pick. The idea that you have to kind of come to is to go, okay, well, it's not. You can either drop it or you can go back and relook at it. But again, failure is what we're going to talk about in the first part of this, and then we're going to go to the repairs. Practical and tactical. How do we get to things that are really practical and tactical? So when we start to look at, right, this practical truth, is to call out what's failing. Right. So, and I gave you the 5 categories. I'm going to put them up again in the next steep, but we're just looking at, right, the call out. What is failing? What is your action or inaction not meeting as expectation? So I want you to think about that. I'm going to give you a minute in one more slide to just take a second and write them down. But here's the real piece on that is you have to get real on the truth about what's not meeting your expectation, because just putting it into your meditation and doing affirmations is delusional. It is delusional. There has to be action. There has to be steps. You must be working on it every day, not just seeing it. Do I think that those things are important? Absolutely. You need to visualize them. You need to put into your meditations. You need to do that, but you also need to do the next step, right? Wishing to win the lottery without buying a lottery ticket, hard to do, right? Hard to actually win without a lottery ticket. So the work is your lottery ticket. It is every time you do it, that's your chance to win. That's your chance to win. So when you start to add up these little tasks that we're going to work on, I would think about them as truly that opportunity to win, right? To win at something else. And everyone in here, y'all are overachievers. I don't know if you know this, but like, hello, lots of education in this room. Lots of education in this room, lots of high performance. So when you know what has to get fixed, you will fix it. So that's why failure isn't a problem to look at, because you'll just fix it, right? You'll just fix it. So we're going to take 1 minute. I'm going to set the timer for 1 actual minute. These are the pieces that we want, is just write them down. You don't have to figure out how to fix them yet, but I would just write down what the failures are, let it free flow. I'm going to give you 1 minute on the clock. And I'm going to hold it up. We'll see how long my arm lasts. Okay, now for those of you who are sharers, you can either unmute and just tell us, or you can type it in. Anybody have one that they were like, oh yeah, I got some. And I also put up ones that are possible. Any response from the team? Okay, Janine.
I guess some of my failures are in my mind, and that I have things I want to do and I haven't done them yet. And that feels like a failure in itself.
Right, expectation.
Expectations, right? Yeah.
And you've got some choices there on expectation, right? Change the expectation or step up to it.
Yeah. I've been wanting to implement this, like for retaining clients, implement a gift card program of thanks, of like a gift card for them, a gift card to give. And I just haven't pulled the trigger on it. I don't know what the hell I'm afraid of, but it hasn't happened. That's
I don't, is it afraid? Is it afraid? Because that feels like it's actually something that can get tidied up in 1 hour.
You would think. Yeah, I think it's like perfectionism paralysis.
You would think. You would think it would be easy. Okay, well, we'll have to do the tactical on that one. Okay, Terry.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Janine gave me a thank you for a client coffee card, and it's like still just made my life. Like, a coffee shop, thank you. Yeah. Thank you, a latte.
Oh yeah.
Those are my favorite. Yeah, I love sending those.
Yeah, you are good at setting thank you cards. And being adorable, just in general. Terry's got one. Terry, do you want to talk about it, or do you want to just leave it in the chat box?
I can speak. I think that for me, when it comes to like starting my business and just kind of just getting things rolling, even with like profit margin or anything, I just have this, I don't like to be told no, or someone doesn't like something. So that kind of sets me back. And so the fear of rejection kind of prevents me from being successful or even attempt. Like I don't even take the leap because I'm scared of that risk of getting that information told to me.
Right. And any idea on that block of why you don't like being told no?
Honestly, I've never really pondered in it. I think it's just, I don't know. I just don't, I think it's a personal thing where it makes me feel like embarrassed or humiliated or something. I'm not sure. I've never actually sat and pondered on it, but I just don't want to hear it. And the sad thing is, like, it's not like I've heard it a lot because I'm too scared to even ask. So I just something in my mind, I think, honestly, that just tells me like, well, no, maybe they don't like this, or, I'm starting to think for others. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to ask because I don't want to hear something that I don't like or they don't like it.
Right. And that is sometimes what I call the timid creator, right? Where we're right. Going back to the first slide, right? You got a lot of skin in the game. This is your dream. So, this is the one art project that can make you throw up really quickly, right? Because it's so tender and so dear. Christina put one into the chat box as well. Anyone else want to share before I go on to the next slide?
I will,
okay.
Only because I didn't have to write anything down. So I already was dealing with some stuff like this yesterday. Like, what is it? Like, what's going on? Is I just always feel like the Paula Abdul song, like you take 2 steps forward and 3 steps back type thing. I just feel like I'm always going through that ebb and flow. But I think mine definitely has to do, I don't know if it's thinking or if it's just like embedded worth and value. I know that I have issues around worth and value that I've been working through. So I think the biggest thing for me, realizing like at the very core of it, is that there's something wrong with me, or things always feeling like they're far-fetched, or, blockages, or like I just can't get it through my head. That was just like some things that I feel like I have recently realized. But Also, I had wrote down a note like to acknowledge. So act like, like notes for myself, I want to post up on my wall, but as within, so without. So, not blaming outside things for what's going on with me. It's got to be something internal, because that's just a universal law. And, also order is heaven's first law. Plan your work and work your plan. And last night it really dawned on me, like, I've got to be bigger than my problems. So whatever's going on with me internally, I've got to conquer that, to conquer the things that I have that affect me on the outside.
I have to say that I'm writing that down. I think I'm watching every pen in this place go, oh, I'm writing that down. I got to get bigger than my problems. Christina, do you want to respond to your piece in the chat box, or just leave it at that?
Sure. I mean, basically my biggest thing that I struggle with is profit, or even pricing, I guess it can fall under. I don't have that formal education, that fancy marketing degree, or any sort of design degree. Like I said, I came from a nursing background. And so for me personally, I really struggled with pricing my services. I felt like maybe my services weren't worthy enough to have a higher price tag, I guess you can say. So over the past year, it's been a learning course, I guess you could say, that just because I don't have that formal education doesn't mean my knowledge isn't worth its weight in gold. I do take a lot of online classes. I do have knowledge about marketing and branding, and my services are absolutely worth, the same price as somebody who went to school for it as well. We both work just as hard, both, bring ideas to the table. So I kind of just have to push that in the back of my mind and not focus so much on whether I have that degree or not, and just be confident in my prices and my services.
Yeah, can I respond to that?
Sure.
Here's where the mix-up is, and I think everybody can learn from that response, which is you're still thinking it's about the service and not the deliverable.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That this is what a house costs, not, there's not a lot of questions on that. This is what a house costs. So this is what a post costs. This is what this piece of time costs, so forth. And going back to that part of separating you from the deliverable. And I think that just kind of chops it in two pieces right there. What are you and what's the deliverable? I would look at that as truly a medication delivery, right? That when do you want that aspirin and how much do you want it for? No one expects that aspirin to come for free, right? But yes, everybody knows if they get that aspirin in a hospital bed versus, at the grocery store, they're two different prices. So you get to decide, right? Who gets what pricing? And I think that pricing conversation for you may be around what is the need in the business plan to be met, right? So people who are having larger services or having regular services may have a wholesale rate, right? And then these other people who are just, having it in these specialty moments, those may be higher prices. So you can think about it in a lot of different ways. But that's a really common item, right? Of, can I back up what I have to say? And that's been the largest change in media in general. Do you know how to do it?
That? Can I respond to that as well? Sometimes a degree actually gets in the way of somebody being creative because they're taught a certain way, and you didn't have that happen to you. You went through it yourself and figured it all out. And I don't know, I'm not sure that everybody looks for a degree when they're looking for a marketing person. They're looking for results, and you have that.
But they are looking for that in a nurse.
Yes. Yeah.
I am definitely looking for that in a nurse.
But she's not a nurse.
But right. You got something else. So when you start to look at those lists, I would really take those pieces and say, look, these are the things that I'm failing at. And that I'm failing at this. This is failing. This idea is failing. This this way I'm doing it is failing, this isn't serving me, whatever. But we're going to start to look at how do we break it down and now start to put it into blessings and benefits, which is where everyone wants to be, right? This is a blessing. This is a blessing. For those of you who may not recognize these awesome muscular guns here, this is Shakina. This is Shakina. Welcome to class. These pictures come up often. So, you know, when I found out you were coming, I had to quick stick in this picture of you, which is my favorite. Sandy, you were here at this photo shoot day. I didn't put your picture in.
I do remember that day. That was fun.
Yeah, that was a really fun day. But yeah, Shakina, I mean, man, those guns look like they could, you know, take everybody out. We have no doubt that yours.
I was not expecting to look down and see that.
These are, this is from the year that we did the My Beast Within. We did a lot of fun with masks and so forth, right? We put in some magic. But when you're thinking about fixing things today, we're really looking to break things down to the simple, smallest step, right? What's the single smallest step to fix that failure? So if your failure was, I'm 10 pounds overweight, the smallest step is to go, how do I take 100 calories a day off? Right? Let me make sure I put in 100 calories more of working out or something like that, right? We're looking for the smallest step, the tiniest thing that you can do consistently to just do that. Now I'm going to call on you, Janine, because you are the queen of this. You do this all of the time. Any advice for everybody?
Do I?
You set a ton of goals around, I'm going to do this weekly or, you know, review.
Oh, okay. I do. I break it down. I do break it down. Is that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So currently I was working on redoing my to-do list, and I have it segmented by the big goals. And then the next action on those goals I put, however, I just spilled coffee all over it. So that's awesome.
That's awesome. Oh, can we get a close up of the coffee one more time?
Yeah.
That is fresh.
All over there. Yeah. I'm not going to redo it. I'm going to let the imperfectionism of that to-do list just be what it is. But I take that list and then I take the must-have things that I have to get done today that can work towards any of those on a Post-it. And then that's what I focus on for my day. So I take the big goals of accomplishing things and then break them down to what I can do on that one thing today.
Yeah, that one thing today, right? One thing today. And I do want to, if you would hold up your spiral bound notebook again for everybody. This is not a sexy journal, right? I mean, this is just a piece of paper, you guys. It's just a piece of paper. And you know, winning top wedding photographer again. How many years in a row now have you gotten the top wedding photographer role?
I don't know.
Right.
There's a lot of different places I submit to. I find that that's a really great way to get in front of new clients is by campaigning to win those type of things. So I do it, but in a lot of different categories. So I don't know that any of it's consistent in anything. It's kind of all over the place.
Right. Well, I can think of 7 years that I've seen watching you. So you've had it for a while, right? So having that getting that role is a tactical item, right? Of rallying, of saying, I want that, and here's what I have to do. So, all right, thank you for sharing very much. Does anyone else have a daily practice that they do that has been working? Mary Sage, I feel like you have a million of these.
I have been really leaning into getting out in nature every day because I find that burnout is super real, and to just make a habit of resetting my brain has been extremely helpful, especially in the last year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Helps me just like get out of like thinking and seeing if I can sort of generate new information into more of a just like receiving inspiration mode, which aligns way better than anything that I can sort of conjure out of my brain these days.
Right. Right. I think that's a really valuable tool. I'm a fan of that as well. Of just, how do we do something? How do we let something in? Right. And that's about letting something in.
Yeah.
Right. It's not necessarily
Absolutely.
a task that's happening, right? You're not doing a to-do list there, that you're putting yourself in a time zone that says, hey, right? Hey,
Yeah.
let me open my mind.
It's almost like untasking in order to
Yes.
like generate new, better information.
And that part, I think if I'm watching people also say this is very inspirational. The untasking, I think, is what I'm watching everybody write down, right? How to untask by being in nature.
Yeah. I've never done less work by taking time to be outdoors. Like it's never been like a sacrifice to anything else. It's always been more of a boon. So I give myself the excuse to go outside just about any time.
Wow.
In fact, I was just thinking, can I go outside and rake leaves and listen to this? Because just feeling like being out in the sunshine is so helpful.
Right. Can I do that both? Right. Absolutely. So thank you for sharing.
Yeah, this is some of my planning. So I have a sketchbook that I use.
Oh yeah, yeah. Put it more in the middle so we can see more of it. Other way.
More in the other way. I can't
Other
see
way.
it,
No,
Other way?
no, other way.
I can't see, so.
Okay. There is a
anyway.
sketchbook there.
Yeah. Wait a minute, I'll stand up.
Almost, this is almost a tease right here. There, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. More. Yes, okay. Loving it. Now we can see it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you use a sketchbook?
I use a sketchbook, and I use and from this then I make tasks, because this is kind of a mess, but that's how it starts.
Yeah, just kind of going, okay, let me just get it out here with colored pens.
Yeah.
And images. Yeah, I love that. I can see everybody going, okay, I like the colored pen idea a lot. So tactical, right? We're looking at those small stakes actions that can lead to a desired income. So time outside every day. I know that Jamie's not here, but she's going to hear it on recording. But that's one of the things that she does, right? Is she makes sure to step on, outside every day. And so, looking at what the things are that you have to do. Untasking is a really great tool. As many of you know, I'm a traveler, so I have to get out into the world to bring in lots of new ideas and creative concepts so that I can be fresh all of the time. So that I can bring you classes that are exciting all of the time, right? That we want new information. We want the Mickey magic on how to think about things a little differently. So I'm that as well. But you also have to kind of direct your time towards that one easiest step. Out of today, I'm really looking for you to only have 5 things at the end, at least. But to just say, what's the one thing that can lead towards what that is, right? The daily habit or that simple action that you can lead towards the changes that you want. So if you have a failure item that says, pricing, then that one change might be to say, let me pick one area in all of these clients and up it by 10% or 20%, right? So these are what we're finding. When we look at new business, I would look at those simple actions that lead to new business. So I am mentoring someone else from this group who is doing business development. And one of the pieces that I had given him was, the simplest way for you to get new business is to accept the invitations that your clients give you to come to their graduation, to come to a pizza party, to do that, to go out and be with people who invite you to things, to accept invitations, because meeting people in a social setting changes how they feel about you, right? So if they meet you at somebody's house that they love, you must have gotten that invitation for a reason, right? So that's an easy way to be able to say, let me accept an invitation. So for those of you who are selling services, things like that, it's really saying, look, yes, I'll stop in. Yes, oh, I would love to do that. But I would start to look at what are the simple actions that lead to new business. So if you are Andromeda and you have lashes, now Andromeda's lashes are not just lashes. These are handmade mink lashes that are also really specialized to people who are wanting over the top wow. She does the others, but these are where the big monies are, right? Are these people who are performers that are showcasing, that they're going to spend that on those lashes and they're going to reuse them, right? So they're going to spend $100 on a pair of lashes. So these are amazing pieces, right? Well, what are the simple actions that she could do that would lead her to those new people, right? And that would be, right, to use Instagram to her favor, to, showcase them in a lot of different ways, to have them tag her, to do these other things so that somebody can have them designed for them, right? So there's lots of things. Look at that for new business. We've done a contact list before. What I love about a contact list is it is just a way to say, let me look through my LinkedIn. Let me look through my my class schedule. Let me look through who are the other parents that are in an area, right? Let me look through that to see who would benefit from that. And this is where you really get a chance for those of you who may have gone through small business cohort. We use the rapid planning method, RPM. For those of you who have worked with the rapid planning method, this is really part of that rapid planning method, is to really say, hey, let me take this big idea and then figure out why I want to do it. Why would I want that client? Why did you get a text today? You got a text to be in this class today because I think it's fun to watch you grow. It's fun to see you do well, right? You're going to benefit from having all of these people around you, that this is a great group of people. So sometimes a small task may be for me to just send you a text to go, you thinking about it? Maybe come on over, right? So it's looking at who's that contact list. Who should you be connecting with? Who should you spend more time with? And so those small stakes wins, exactly what Janine's doing, right? Where she's looking at, here's the big goals. The big goal may be that I need 25 drag queens as my base clientele. Okay, well, let's find out who they are, right? Let's start connecting with them. Let's figure out if we can send them a set of lashes. Let me see if I can make one for you. Let's do a creative combination, right? So let's look at how that could be. If it is looking at building an artistic collective, right? Okay, how much would I have to charge people to be able to pay that rent? So having a big goal, creating a contact list around that goal, and then starting to break it into these small pieces and then putting it into your daily action, right? To go, okay, let me do this kind of glob of stuff that takes a long time at front, and then let me break it down enough so that I can do it as a tiny thing. And that tiny daily action would be to say, I'm just going to pick something off my list. what Janine's doing with her Post-it is she's saying, look, I did this whole glob of work, and now I just have to take one thing off of there, and that's the tiny thing I have to do today. And it's not, it's not taking an afternoon to do the one tiny thing. But she did have to take an afternoon to get to that point. So when we look at practicality, right, I would also look at practicality as a way to measure how much work your customer has to do to give you business, right? How much work do they have to do to give you business? Do they have to know you? Do they have to, right? That if you were going to become my client, it's hard to get in the door, right? Because we don't open the door for everybody. So you'd have to know somebody who knows somebody to be able to become my client. If I were trying to grow and starting out, that's a terrible plan. So for those of you who are in those new startup ways, right, practicality is to go, well, how hard is it to do business with you? How hard is it to invest in your business? What do I have to do to get into giving you a tool, right? So if we're trying to fundraise, how easy is it? Did you get your paperwork done? Have you talked to the lawyer yet? What would happen if we gave you $10,000 towards your business idea? Okay, let's give people ways to get into, right? How can they do business with you? When we look at customers returning, many of you have returning customers, people who are already in love with your magic, right? So what are those simple things that you have that lead to customers returning? Oh, and Karen's put up the rapid planning method in the chat box. It's really worth it. Who was in cohort? I'll go to Karen. Karen, did you do that over the summer? You did it with group. Whoop, you got to unmute.
Unmute. I did part of it, but I didn't do all of it. And I think Janine did.
Janine,
Did I? Did I do that?
Did I? Did I?
Well, if you watch the video, that's really enough to get you started.
I did watch the video, multiple videos, and then I had a blank piece of paper with some words on it.
Oh, that's a start. That's a start. And that's the place to start, right? Watch the video. I think it's a helpful tool.
Yeah. Plus, Tony Robbins makes you crazy. So.
Yes. Yes. I'm a Tony Robbins fan.
I am too.
So when we look at those, keep going, Karen.
But he does make you crazy.
Oh yeah.
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 That's a good thing.
It's a good thing. It's a good thing. So those simple actions that would lead to a customer returning. So for those of you who remember Annette, who had the massage space, it was as simple as sending people a receipt to say, hey, here's your receipt from today's service. And then a note that says, would you like to book another appointment? And it was that simple, right? Oh, hey, how do we get you to do something? Sometimes it's offering them something that's special. Sometimes it's offering a new product. It's having a mailing list. It can be something very, very simple, right? How do we get them to return or to expand? I use McDonald's as a benefit piece of what they found in how do they get customers to return. Their number one return was to have immaculate bathrooms. That you don't think that selling a cheeseburger equates to a clean bathroom, but they learned early on that parents and people who are traveling and the elderly, they like a clean bathroom. And what that does is it gives credibility to the brand. If you have a choice many times of where you're going to go to the bathroom while you're on the road, McDonald's sometimes looks pretty good, right? Because you know it will be clean. And yes, it's a simple benefit, but if you're going to carry a baby in somewhere so you can go to the bathroom, you want to be able to set that baby's carrier on something. So, you're going to make a decision. You're going to make a buying decision based on the cleanliness of that. So sometimes when you start to think about what are your services, what are the things that make it easy for people to come back in, it's not related around the service, but the delivery or the implied benefit of what they get. What is the implied benefit? The implied benefit may be that you're going to retain what they've spent, so that when they hit a certain mark, they get a bonus. Hey, when you hit the $10,000 mark with me, this is what you get. Or like Sandy, right? Here is a free pie, right? So I'm going to see you every year for pie. So who doesn't want pie? Right? So, it's what's that returning customer? Hey, I see Jamie in an airport. We knew you were here. We put some things in the recording for you. Are you in a place to say hi yet?
Yeah, I can say hi. I'm walking to my gate.
Okay, good. All right. Well, you want to say anything to the
Hi,
group?
Jamie.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, everybody.
I'm on my way to St. Thomas.
Virgin Islands?
Yes.
Oh, awesome. We always went to St. John and went camping.
Oh, yeah, this is my first time, so I'm pretty excited.
St. John is super chill. St. Thomas is more touristy and beautiful, and St. John is like really relaxing and quiet.
Yeah.
It's across a ferry.
I'm very excited. I'm late because one of the people traveling with us has had airport complications. They don't travel very often, so they missed their flight. They got mad. They left the airport instead of staying, getting rebooked. So I've been on the phone with the airlines for like 2 hours. So I'll call
I
it.
hope you snorkel.
Oh, no. I got pretty weave in this time. We're not snorkeling or getting in that damn water. We're just going to look cute next to the water.
Yeah, that's going to be great. That's going to be great. Well, welcome back. We missed you. Anything that you want to report to the group before you say goodbye, or before you mute again?
Nothing, just work. Business is great. And yeah, business is cracking along. I got most of my stuff in order and emails cleared out, and business is really good.
Yeah. You're having a wonderful year. You're having a kick-ass year. You were in business cohort 2 this summer. So
yeah. And
you guys have a reunion.
Yeah, we do on the 8th, and I just recalculated all my stuff from the summer and got everything all together. And so I was very excited. It's just been really, really a good.
Good. Do you want to share your big number with this group or not?
My time would have been from, I marked from May 30th until September 1st.
Yep.
And I made a total of $118,000.
Yay! I'll let everybody kind of group clap on that.
So I'm pretty geeked about that. And so just neat, real cool things. Just friend me on social media and watch everything going, because I'm reeling it now. And I didn't know so many people watched, and I just did a quinceañera for one of the editors of Better Home and Garden and Charlotte Living, and I've gotten 4 customers from her since then, and she hasn't even written or said anything about me very much except for the people that were there. So yeah.
That's awesome. Well, see, perfect.
Shakina wants to know what kind of business you have, Jamie.
My main business is real estate and rentals. That's like my base business, but I'm a private chef and just started an investment club and have a couple of other things. Like I'm an extreme entrepreneur.
Right. An extreme entrepreneur. That should be our next club.
Yeah, I did a online class for I just did a tester free online Airbnb class that I put out there, and I had 65 people show up to the class.
Wow.
And I know. And then so we had this packet that we created for our Airbnb that we've been selling to them since. And it's been
that $300 one.
That's just something for showcasing another service that we offer.
Oh, okay.
But no, the class, I put it out there again. And this time I'm going to charge $30 for it. It's just a beginner conversation, like, how do I get started? Where do I get started? I just did a tester. And then, yeah, we've been selling things that we do for our Airbnb, like lists and different stuff like that. So it's been pretty cool.
That's great. That's
Yeah.
great. All right. Well, everybody, this is Shakina. This is Jamie. Sorry. Shakina's note. Shakina sent you a note that says, hey, yay. That's for you, Jamie. Okay, getting back to, right, the fail list and what are we doing in the simple actions, right, these daily pieces. When we start to look at the simple actions that lead to retention, this is where your note taking is going to be helpful, or for those of you who are going to watch this again later. Retention has some other meanings to it. So I want you to think about retention in all of the ways that retention is there, right? Thought, gaining things back. How do you maybe hold stock back for a different sale time? Maybe selling a service twice, right? Exactly what Jamie was just talking about was her list, right? Hey, I made this list. These are the vendors we use for our stuff. Can I sell that to somebody else, right? Or, how do we do things? Many times you have classes that are there or things that you can bring again. So when we look at retention, I would think about what that is. So in holding stock back, it would be to say, let me kind of build stock for a Christmas gathering. Let me build stock for something else. I'll sell it at this time because it'll be worth more. An example that is how sandbagging became sandbagging, right? Is the idea of sandbagging is that you hold something back to be able to sell it later at a higher point, right? And that was built around floods. So you actually get to buy sandbags. So there are companies that buy millions and millions and millions of sandbags for a flood, and then they just wait for a flood because everybody's going to run out and they can sell them at 3 times as much, right? So that's also considered retention, right? I'm holding stock for a certain time. If you've ever been an online shopper or somebody who likes to shop off season, right? That's how you benefit, right? They're not going to retain that product. They're going to blow it out at a lower cost. What happened last year to all of retail, which we have never seen before, is that they didn't blow it out because there's no one coming into the store. So they actually had a retention model. And the largest purveyor of that would be Walmart. So if you noticed, if anyone has been into a Walmart, is that they just stored all of last year's Christmas in the back, and then they pulled it out in September and started clearancing it then as they stocked the new. Many small stores retained their stock from last year, and now they're going to put it out again. Many online retailers, you're going to see the same sweater that they had from last year. They're just selling it out again this year. They just held the stock, and now they're going to sell it this year at full price because now it's starting to get cold, and that cozy sweater, they're going to get closer to full price than had they tried to sell it off last year. So when you start to look at retention, it is, right, looking at how those same clients are coming back, or how are you changing the service that they're getting, right? What's the small thing that you can do to have retention? And that may be additional services, that may be having your own order and delivery fee, right? So in that client retention, let's go to Sandy's pies, right? If you noticed when she talked about those pies, she said, and you can pick them up, right? That she's not going to try to deliver 600 pies, right? She's going to take it in and meet those people again, right? And then the retention in that would be to say, hey, reminding people that she does sell houses, right? That you can list. These are some other things. Do you, Sandy, can I ask you, when you do that event, so you're there handing people their pie.
Yes.
What's the largest benefit that you get from that pie event?
Getting to see my past clients face to face.
Yeah.
And, having a having a short conversation. Hi, how are you doing? Everybody's smiling, everybody's happy. It's really fun. And we have a positive experience for a few minutes, and then they get to go have a pie and think about me.
Yeah. And they get to be a star, right? Because they got a free pie.
Mm.
Right. So that's the get, right? That not only do they get the time with you, but then they get to have this time with pie and other people that they love, right?
Mm.
So this is a magnification piece, right?
Right.
That
Right.
you get to magnify joy. And so that's the magic there,
Right.
right? It's
And
also
then
a chance. I'm sure that somebody will tell you when they're ready to sell their house.
yes, hopefully, yes.
Yes.
And also I get to, promote another local business owner, the Pie Lady. And
Yeah.
so she's gotten a lot of extra business from this as well. When people are like, oh, where'd you get the pie? I want to go get some more. I want to order some more of those pecan pies.
Oh, it's a pecan pie? Ooh.
Well, there's 4 pies: pecan, cranberry crunch, triple berry, and chocolate.
Oh, wow. Definitely put your pie maker in, because I can see everyone going, I need a great pecan pie.
Okay.
Yes.
I can't wait to pick up my pecan pie, Sandy.
Yeah,
Right.
right.
I remember when you used to do brownies.
Oh, I still do brownies.
Oh,
That's
okay.
that's just an everyday kind of thing.
Right.
Still
Right.
doing brownies, yeah. Okay, I'll put it in the chat.
Good. And FYI, Sandy makes a great brownie. And I saw those brownies in Carmita's hands in those pictures.
Yes.
So not only did you meet her to get her daughter's furniture thing, but you also had brownies made for her.
Yes, and either thanks to you mentioning it, or maybe anyway, she was like, somebody said we have to take a picture. Maybe it was Carmita, or maybe
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so anyway.
Yes, we have to take a picture. Oh yeah, Mickey always wants to see a picture.
Yes.
I love photos of all of you. Yes. It never gets old to me to see you guys ever. So anyway, but that's one more way of the magic, right? That you have a reputation for brownies. And now everybody else here is going to be questioning, like, how do I get a brownie? So when we go back to profit margin, so thanks for being awesome, Sandy. What are the simple actions that lead to increased profit margin? Now, I want you to notice that there's that second word, margin. Margin is different than profit. So margin is a calculation. When we get Jenny back after she's got her degree and so forth, really quickly saying, she's going to be able to probably give us the calculation and how we can do it. So Jenny, we'll probably get some of that from you later. But right, what are the actions that lead to increased profit margin? Margin is a calculation on the actual cost of delivery. And so what you're looking at is to increase the margin as much as possible. So many times you go, look, you've got to mark that up 40% to be able to walk away with 10. That's because they've calculated their margin. Many times you'll see things in clothing stores, right, that they have a 300% markup. They're just figuring out their markup because they don't have that as profit. They're looking for margin. What does it cost to deliver that product? Selling direct to customers, DTC, the letter D, the letter T, the letter C. Direct to customers has been the largest change we've seen in productization in the last decade. If any of you have ever heard of the Shave Club, right, sending razors to your door, these are the biggest changes that changed the profit margin. Or the margin of profit, because they didn't have to have a store, they didn't have to have a distributor, they became those distributors. So when you start to think about that margin and what's the simple thing you can do, the next slide has a really simple one. So it can be reusing materials, it can be buying things in bulk, it can be using wholesalers, it can be selling direct to customers, it can be changing less advertising to customers, finding out how much does it cost to get a new customer. Sometimes having a new customer costs money because you have to get a lead generator. So if you don't have to have a lead generator, that goes back to your margin, right? You have to spend less to get something. So when we are looking at retailers, one of the things that I look at is a quick, easy way for me to get more margin into those businesses that are doing high volume is to change the sales fees in the transactions that they're doing. So by going with a different place to host your transaction, we can end up to be, taking, getting 1% back into the margin. So for those businesses that are doing $1 million, 1% is a significant dollar amount. So suddenly not paying it to PayPal and paying it to a smaller retailer, a smaller host can instantly make 10 grand come in. So it's those types of things that we look at for margin. So when we look at this as tactical and practical, right, the thing of what we're doing here, it is really to just look at that, to just say, look, here's the tactical. I'm going to look at my profit and loss, and I'm just going to try one more thing, one of the things on that, and I'm going to see if I can make it more efficient. So that more efficient may be looking at how you're doing your Facebook posts, what's the return on investment, making things more efficient. Facebook, for those of you who are paying for ads or things like that, that's why you hire someone to write your ads and to put them into people that can actually buy them. That's what those firms are looking at, is they're saying, look, we've got to have this many eyes on it. That's why we post it Tuesday at noon, because that's when the most eyes are still on Instagram or whatever that is, that they're looking at that tactical check-in. So you're just looking at everything on your profit and loss sheet and to go, look, is there any way I can make that, it's Friday fun day. Let's see if we can put some more money in the bank. And that's a really easy one to do, is to just go, okay, is there any way we can, let's see how we can keep more money in the bank. Is there a better way for us to look at health insurance, car insurance, costs that we put out? Can be anything on that profit and loss. Could be education, could be lots of things. The last one of the 5 is, you would think it's my favorite. The one that we just got done is my favorite, because I love putting money in your bank accounts. That is my favorite thing, is to have money come to you. But my second favorite is right here, which is the magic, right? And magic is what makes it, makes it fantastic, right? It's that thing that you do, right? For Andromeda, it's the lashes, right? It's that picture that somebody has that they're beautiful, right? It's why you have a makeup artist as a friend, to showcase those, right? Is that you want that thing that says, oh, okay, right? It's why she wants a suite. It's why she wants a pink chair. It's why she wants all of that to be there, right? It's the magic. If you're Janine, right? It's that one photo that just goes, wow, this is eye popping. But the real magic of Janine is when she's actually doing the delivery. So she may lead with the creative content that she has, but the magic to people who are seeing her service or experiencing her service is actually how she delivers the service before the picture. So sometimes when we look at that magic, I would start looking at what your customers are saying, and start thinking about what your magic is. It can be the illusion of getting something, right? A little dirt don't hurt is doing cupcakes. What is that? That was a surprise. She's delivering soap, not just, plants or things like that. So the illusion of getting something more. these are the benefits that you have. It may be your amazing style. It may be the change that you bring to somebody. It may be just the way that you kind of crush it with your, glitter soaked awesome self. But, it's sometimes it's showcasing progress. One of the things that is very magical about this call and all of you is that you get to see each other's progress. You get to share in that, right? That's the magic of NW2, is it doesn't get old. It just isn't. It isn't, it's my favorite place to be once a month. So when you start to look at practicality, right? It's defining in your list, right? That list of 5 things, it's defining these small changes that you can put in regularly, right? I can take my lunch hour every Thursday, go for a walk, right? For those of you who may not have understood the concept of happy money is written by a billionaire from Japan, but basically it is what you hear me talk about all of the time. He just happened to write a better book, which is, right, to be thankful and to really bless all of the money that's coming in and coming out. Happy money, Annette, who was in this group a lot too, that she would write a check for something, the bills would come in, she would write a check happily, and then she'd say, yep, there's more where that came from, and she'd send the check out, right? Paying your bills with joy. Being happy you have a bill to pay, thanking it for the experience that you have, looking at that Visa bill differently. So saying thanks for every dollar that you give and get, right? And giving it away in fun, giving things away in joy. That is happy money. That always will bring you more wealth. So think about that, right? Sometimes going back to practical and tactical and putting that happy money concept together is really the simple savings plan, right? That's a practical tactical. Okay, I want a dream vacation. I want 10 grand to do a trip. Okay, well, how do you have to do that? It's these small steps, right? How do I need 10 grand to do this? Okay, well, let's just put a savings plan together and let's figure out what that looks like. It's so much easier when you can kind of put together a way to do it, right? So when you start to look at, oh my gosh, $10,000, how am I going to do that? When somebody hears me tell them it's $27.39 every day, it's $27.39 every day. Can you figure out how to make $27.39 more a day? It's so much easier, right? That's the practical tactical. If you're saving for something and you're doing it to go, okay, I need $27.39. Well, it may be that I'm not going to spend that on something that I don't want to. It may be, this is where it starts to get kind of fun. This is where the game gets to play. Mary Kay and I just talked about this last week, is the stones method. This is one I use a lot, that they truly are just some stones that you carry in your pocket every day. And you just move them from one pocket to another, or you can stack them in a little bowl or whatever, but you just start to feel in your hand, you carry them with you, right? How many things on your goal list have you gotten done today? So I will, if it's a walking goal and it's time, you just put a stone in there for an amount of time. These happen to be cardio stones for me, of how many minutes of cardio did I get in that day. So every minute that I do it, that I give myself a point for the 1 minute of running as fast as I can. Many of you are doing these where you're visually seeing something like your walking goals. For those of you who count your steps, definitely write them on your thing. This is something that you write down because it's important to you and that you want this action. You want to be able to see what you're doing. Anybody here else count their steps Anybody have one of these? Yeah, Danny does. Yeah, so if you count your steps, right, you really look at it. You really want to go, okay, I'm doing that. Well, what does that do, right? What does Mary Sage's time outside do, right? So that may be where she can kind of give herself this. In the stones method, you just give yourself a stone for that improvement. Some of you will have these digital versions of them. Some of you will have these multiple things where you're like, okay, well, I want a larger amount of money. I want these steps. I want these other things, right? So when you start to look at that tactical and the practical, you're looking at going, here are the things that I want. Here's my investment club. Here's what this is what we've done. You want to be able to see those returns on what they are. So one of the things that the RPM method does for you, right? Tony Robbins' rapid planning method that's in the sidebar here is, right, it kind of defines how these small things will make a large impact, but it's starting with the large impact first, right? It's saying, here's the why. Here's why I want this. I want to have a mind that is free and healthy and delicious and available to play. So I'm going to make sure that I'm going to give myself credit every time I go outside and rake the leaves and listen to this phone call, right? I'm going to get credit for that. I'm going to get credit for doing the things that make me magic. I'm going to invest in the happy money. I'm going to do those things. So in your task list today, you're really looking at, right, how are you going to define those things for you and your customers? And that's a little bit ambiguous to say, oh, okay, well, how would I do these simple things that my customers can do every day? It may be sending them a monthly newsletter. It may be putting a sale together. It may be doing, something simple, just simple, that is regular. I think Sandy, how long did it take you to get to the point where you got your newsletter out all the time?
Oh,
right.
Yeah, forever.
Right. And now
I had to hire an assistant.
Right.
And so
but now it goes out all the time.
Yes, I couldn't do it without her. So if I haven't sent her any ideas, she'll email and then she'll be like, I found this great article. Do you want to do this? I'll be like, oh, okay. Or no, I'll write my own article. And then I'll tell her if there's a listing. And so I do have to have help or it wouldn't go out.
Right.
But yeah, it took forever.
Right. And once you were willing to just go, I'll just pay somebody to do that.
Mm-hmm.
It changed everything, didn't it?
Yes.
Is there, now this may be a magical reach, but did having a regular newsletter change your business? Did it increase sales?
I'm sure it did. I mean, it had to. People hearing from me every single week. I mean, it has to, like reminding them, yep, she's still in business, so it's not anything I can quantify, but
right.
Sure
but you are making the most money you've ever made.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's kind of that concept around happy money as well, right? Is she doesn't know for sure if that's what's doing it. There's all these things that are doing it, but it's all of these things that are bringing her this happiness, right? Well, let's see everybody for a pie. Let's send them a newsletter. Let's do this. Let's call them, right? It's all of these things that are, right? We talked about this, right? The blessings and the benefits that you can bring. And so that blessing and benefit, that's what you're looking for. Right? Something that tells your customer what you do and how they do it. And then, right, how do they get it in there? I'm going to end up closing us real quick here. But again, right, what's the get? What's the get? What are people getting from you? Right? What are you getting from this group by hanging out as a group, right? It gave you a place to show up. That is the benefit, right? That's the benefit that everybody gets from being together. Is that they get to be here and they get to show up and be all of them. And so when you start to think about what are the things that you're getting, I would just start to look at how do people talk about you? What does it look like? How what's the perception on your magic? So there's lots to do here. When we start to look at that, right? Just think about your top 25 clients. This is a simple one to do today. And it's a one-time action, right? A lot of you are thinking of these one-time action things, but start putting together a list. Who are my top 25 clients? If you just have a one-time action thing, start putting a one-time action on the books every week to say, look, once a week, I'm going to just go outside. I'm going to walk. I'm going to rake my leaves, right? And I'm just going to think of one thing that I can do that's a one-time action that might bring some more business, right? Or that might increase my happy money, right? How can I give something away? How can I invite somebody to something, right? How can I do something that makes my financial resources better? And if you even just put it on your list for once a week to go, let me think about the one thing I can do that'll just bring in a little more wealth, Okay, that was a lot of stuff. I'm going to exhale. I'm going to just go round robin. What are you going to take away from today? What are you going to take away from today? Mary Kay, I'm going to come to you first. What is your takeaway? You got to unmute for us. Oh, there you go. See, she's got it.
Okay. This is always the hardest part for me because I'm a processor. But sometimes things come in. Just for me, summing up, it was very very practical, very simple to achieve, practical methods. This is what really appeals to me. It's very doable. Yeah. And for me, just listening to this, setting a very small goal, just like what you're talking about, what is one simple thing that I can do? I can just take one of these bullet points, that I've written on my notes and just do it and feel like I've achieved something.
Yep. And it's done. Janet, what are you taking away today?
Well, it was really awesome. First, I was a little afraid when you said you're going to have to write down 10 things, but then I was like, they're little. So I wrote down a lot. But the one I would share is remember, yeah. What I would share is remember to video, Jamie, and remember to take pictures of your amazing catering parties, but remember to do progress photos so that if you ever want to show someone, you all probably do a lot of social media, so you're doing stills, but sometimes it's fun to do a little video, like a time lapse that shows what you do.
Oh, I love it. Shakina, you are new to us today.
So
what are you
I have all kinds of little things.
Oh, okay. Do you have more for us?
No, just lots. I'll be busy.
You'll be busy.
That's it.
Shakina, are you able to jump back in? What are you taking away from today?
Yep. So for me, just the practicality of things, which I think is what the idea of where I was going, with when I first was like, what is it? I just always had this issue of going back to simplifying things, but I think it was Mary Sage that had said, the inspiration over information. I have a lot of things, coming at me at one time. And so my thing is just always, I suffer from overwhelm, like what I've got to do, what do I need to do, who do I need to talk to, who do I need to call, how I'm gonna fit all this stuff in. And so sometimes just taking a break from all of that and just taking a breath and just being guided by spirit versus, always driven by the task.
Right. Jenny, since you don't have since you don't have a voice, you can just type in what you're taking away and we'll see it there. Christina, what are you taking away? And then Terry, I'm coming to you.
Nikki, can I just say, if people came in through a direct link to Zoom, I don't have their email to send
Oh,
the,
yeah.
the link with. So if they would put their email address in the chat, that would be great. I can send them the link.
Oh, yeah. Add your email to the list. Yes, yes. Okay. Terry, what are you taking away?
All right. So honestly, from listening to everything today, I'm really going to just take away the fact of honestly just not giving up. I really like that the mythology you use with the lottery situation. Basically, if you don't necessarily, put in the ticket for it, then you're pretty much just not, the odds of that are really slim to zero. So just kind of tasking myself to make sure every day I'm being positive, saying good affirmations, and just continuing to just not give up. And that was something that I heard in someone said. And so I thought that was pretty good. And just, not quitting, just accepting that failure, embracing it, and just moving forward.
Right. Keep going. Keep going. Mary Sage, are you still with us? Are you still outside? What are you taking away? And then Danny, what are you taking away after that?
I got my leaves raked.
You got them all raked while we were together?
Yeah, it felt so good. And so for me, like embodying the information, like that's how I process. One of the big things that I'm taking away is in the last few minutes, you said something about your list of 25 clients. And it totally just resonated for me because in my experience and what I'm doing, I don't want to have like a whole bunch of new clients. I want to really like go deep with 25 people. Like that's it. And so that really helped to clarify, not getting swept out into like, oh my gosh, now I have to do all these other things to like generate new business. I want to refine and like really get clear about who are those 25 people and how do we go deep this year. So thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. And Danny, what are you taking away?
To remember to do the process photos. I always take them. I don't always post them.
Yeah.
There is one I should post. I'm covered in pumpkin. It's fantastic. And then just the stone method made me laugh because that is how my mom gets me to go on hikes.
Yeah.
She'll be like, hey, I'll let you collect a rock every time you go a mile on a hike. And I'm like, solid. But I only get one rock per mile. Otherwise I walk out of the forest with like 25 pounds of rocks. So she said, what are you going to do with this crap?
Right. Right. Good. It works. It works. Sandy, what are you taking away?
So two specific things. So I just feel like I'm not consistent enough or so for new business, sometimes I feel like I'm not eager enough or tenacious enough, or like I just need to keep following up on them. So I'm going to do a checklist for following up with new leads instead of following up with them twice. Maybe I'll follow up with them 5 times, just keep following up. So and then the other thing is the profit part. I sign up for programs, I spend money, subscriptions, and then I'm like, what the hell? I just saw on my checking, I was spending $40 a month for the Wall Street Journal. What? And then I go online and they have it for $4 a month. So it's like, what? So anyway, I'm sure there's a lot of stuff that I buy that I don't need. And so I just need to I'm going to look at that every week and get rid of expenses that I don't need.
I would love you to keep a track of that. And let's see how much money you can put in your pocket. Like what could be that goal? Like, do you think that could be $1,000?
Well, think about that Wall Street Journal thing, $40 a month. So it's $4,800, $480.
Right.
Ah!
Right. That
So, yeah,
you get to have.
I'll keep track of that. Yes.
I think that would be a fun list, but I would love to see, again, right, that happy money. Let's bring it towards you to do something that makes you like yummify. Like what would, what would $480 buy you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like even just a costume for your cat, to have him be Sherlock Holmes next year, would be so good. Karen Karsten, do you have anything that you're taking away and any last takeaways for everybody?
Well, I think it's just really an expansion of the 2% method that we've used all the time.
Yeah.
And just, breaking, that's one thing you can do for clients is to help them break things down into something that's manageable because they're overwhelmed. So I think that, this is a really great way to help people.
Right. Well, you guys, I always love going with you. We went out a little bit over time today because I wanted to hear what you had to say, but again, thank you for coming to class. Please invite another person to class. We always love new faces. We had a lot of new people today and they need you. Terry, I'm going to call you out on that. You needed to be here today. Jenny, I'm sure you needed to be here too. But they need you. So please invite a friend. We'd love to see more. Okay. All right. Sure did, she says. So there you go. Thank you guys. See you later. See you next month. Bye.
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 Bye-bye.
On to Mickey. Oh, she left. Bummer. I had a funny fact for her. Bye, Grandma Karen.
Bye.